average bandit is even more equipped than our average policeman. So where do we begin to tackle this? Because it is obvious, we can't lie anymore. It's a hydra-headed challenge.
Yeah. With the military in the Northeast, you are dealing with ideological, it's an ideological warfare. So it's a different situation. Now they're trying to show capacity, but there is no level of capacity. And non-state actors, even though armed, can match the state.
Yeah.
So the thing that I see, each time we push our armed forces, not even the brigadier general, even captains, lieutenants, and all that, to engage in a firefight, we expose them to unnecessary risk. Because if you have a battalion, maybe 700, and about 2,000 attacking, let the 700 kill even 1,000, they will still try to overwhelm.
Sometimes deploying the human effort where it's not supposed to. All these first initial researches and the apprehension should have been done with technology. If Americans say they are coming to Nigeria, I don't think they are going to bring millions or thousands of soldiers to this country. We need technology.
Hi. I'm sure you've been, like most Nigerians, alarmed by the current state of the nation, the subject of insecurity. I mean, on our last edition of Black or White, we looked at the recent adoption of school children across different parts of northern Nigeria. That conversation still continues as we speak. Remember, don't forget to follow, like, share, and click on that button to be part of the conversation right here on Black or White. I am John Kamyang, and our guests from the last edition are still very much in the studio, former DIG and
AIG.
of course AIG,
yeah.
and of course the man I like to call my national president, Dr. Lamgwe Duke, and of course swift change, right? Wingman to wingman. Kule, it's also great to have you on the show.
It's good to be here.
Now, on the last previous edition of Black or White, we were looking at the various dynamics that has led to where we are. We can't run away from the fact that first 25 girls were taken, students were taken in Kebbi. Now we hear another 52 in Niger. I mean, as of the time the last edition was on, there were speculations as to whether another adoption had taken place in Nasarawa and all of that. And sir, you mentioned the fact that the police is understaffed, ill-equipped, and I remember you asking a very important question. All the billions we hear about security, where is that money going? Because the average Nigerian is convinced that the average bandit is even more equipped than our average policeman. So where do we begin to tackle this? Because it is obvious, we can't lie anymore. It's a hydra-headed challenge.
Yeah.
It started like a joke, Boko Haram. Boko Haram has metamorphosed to ISWAP, to bandit, to headsmen, to, I mean, only God knows if another head will not grow. But, I mean, Duke, from your perspective, in the last conversation, you were hitting the police hard, that they are supposed to be the first line of defense. So, he has established the fact that they are underfunded, they don't have enough manpower. In fact, one of the conversations in the National Assembly is they are advocating the recruitment of 100,000 Nigerians into the armed forces.
Yeah.
Of course, the police inclusive.
Yeah.
And just recently, the Chief of Army Staff has said if Nigerian youth refuse to join the armed forces, they will force Nigerian youth.
I thought that was a fake news.
I saw it, and I'm wondering.
I thought that was a fake news.
I saw it, but I know you at some time were the national president of Nigerian Youth Organization.
Yeah.
And as a young person, how would you feel to be co-opted, forced to join.
The only level of corruption now is intelligence, is technology. Look, what we see, why we give, just recently we lost a brigadier general.
Yes.
Of course, in my knowledge, in my little knowledge, I don't think a brigadier general should be at the war front or sort of
should be leading
should be leading the battalion. But we lost a brigade. Yeah, we lost him, and that is because sometimes deploying the human effort where it's not supposed to. All these first initial researches and the apprehension should have been done with technology. If Americans say they are coming to Nigeria, I don't think they are going to bring millions or thousands of soldiers to this country. We need technology. We need technology. Nigerian, the armed forces or the police should be talking about the use of technology. There's a lot technology can do before you deploy.
I don't think anybody should be walking into ambush
now
at this time
of the day. That is it. I have interacted with. Sorry, I'm coming. I've interacted with army officers that came from Sambisa, and they said that these bandits, they use drone, meaning that they also check the atmosphere before they move in.
But we've seen videos
yes.
of security forces also using drones. We hear that even currently the Nigerian army has a unit that is now building drones
Nigerian
locally.
Air Force.
Yes, the Nigerian Air Force. So
this is what we need. So
isn't that technology?
This is what we need. We need more. The fight. The fight is more than what we're looking at. I made in the last edition, I talked about the spread. They are not military people. They are miscreants. They are people that are fighting the society. But you're looking at their spread within 7 days. So why? Why are we not having? While our retired DIG was talking last time, he talked about being proactive. So must we leave these spaces until it occurs?
Yeah,
we get intelligence.
I need to strengthen.
When we have intelligence.
I need to strengthen one issue.
Yeah.
You see, it is very important that the security forces, the police, the armed forces, and the rest are properly equipped.
Yes.
And they should be equipped with necessary logistics, basic vehicles, operational vehicles. They need to have them. They need to have the right caliber of weapons. They need to have, there should be CCTV. And but all of this, as critical as they are, you and I have a critical role to play. And that is the area that I try to emphasize, of the area of early warning and response, situational awareness, and all of those. But the problem that we have, I think some of the administrators, maybe the subnationals in particular, the governors, when you just throw money
at things,
and I talked about result-based budgeting, the budget should produce results.
Absolutely.
And so, if you don't have you complain because you don't have the resources, and that's why you are not able to perform. And I give you the resources. I should demand. There should be a kind of an assessment to see the money we gave you, how do we utilize it? And that's accountability. But the situation we have in Nigeria, the public must recognize their role. But the security forces should also be able to attract the public. And like they were stating yesterday, the problem that we have are very different in the Northwest. Now they are kind of diverting attention. They are mining gold and other minerals.
So all of this could be diversionary.
Now, suddenly, they're now kidnapping. They're diverting. Now, with the military in the Northeast, you are dealing with ideological, it's an ideological warfare. Yeah. So it's a different situation. Now they're trying to show capacity, but there is no level of capacity. And non-state actors, even though armed, can match the state.
Yeah.
So the thing that I see, each time we push our armed forces, not even a brigadier general, even captains, lieutenants, and all that, to engage in a firefight, we expose them to unnecessary risk. Because if you have a battalion might be 700, and about 2,000 attacking, let the 700 kill even 1,000, they will still try to overwhelm. And so what does that tell us? It means we should think of coordination. And in that coordination, we've got to look at, we have the Sokoto aircraft, but the helicopter gunships. Because when each time I see in social media, some people on motorbike and riding, one helicopter or two helicopters will take all of them out. So immediately, that general came under attack. We are no. Excuse me, I'm coming. Just a moment. Just a moment. I'm coming. I had the privilege. Just a moment. I had the privilege of being part of the Nigeria police contingent to Namibia in 1989. Then I was an ASP. And when you have the People's Liberation Army of Namibia engage the SADF and the South African Defense Force and the South West African Police, and each time they attack barracks or locations, you see 2, 3, 4 helicopters take off, and they chase them. That's one thing.
Absolutely, because information is already out.
Whereas you come to the North Central, the situation there, it's something you are dealing with issues of competition for water, for pasture, and then damage to crop, and the land tenure issue, and then the indigenous say, "Look, you are not pushing us out of our home, and you put your animals," and that is another thing in the middle. But the risk challenge that we have in the Northeast, in the Northwest, government must take control of mining. Not that government should mine, but government should know if they are artisanal miners, they should be licensed. It should be formed into cooperatives.
Okay.
If they are government licensed miners, approved miners.
You have shed a lot of light on areas that some of us are aware of, most may not be aware of. But let's hold that thought a bit. Let's take a quick breather. When we come back, I know that Dr. Duke has his understanding. He has interacted, like he has said, and I am a live witness of his engagements with military at almost the top hierarchy of the Nigerian security force. So I would like to get his reaction as well. But remember, follow, like, share, and press that button to be part of this conversation. We'll be right back. The level of insecurity in Nigeria remains the subject of conversation even at the smallest level of society in every home right now. The suggestion is that no Nigerian is safe. I mean, if a brigadier general could be ambushed and killed, the average Nigerian says, then what hope do we have? It's still black or white, and of course we can't wait to get your reactions and contributions to the conversation on the show, which is a sequel to a conversation we started on the last edition of the show. I still have, I like to call him my national president, Comrade Duke, and of course former DIG. AIG.
Oh, I wish I was still serving. Now I can't be promoted.
And we are looking at the recent developments in the country. Now, Comrade Duke. Yeah, you've heard the AIG. Yeah. If there's something I see he has constantly hammered on from the first edition and this edition of the show is that thing called coordination. So when insecurity escalates to the level we have now, you have talked about the need to engage technology. But he said, no, there's no problem with engaging technology, but that technology and the men on the ground have to all be coordinated from a central point. So it's not just about the police, it's not just about the military. You also talked about the porous borders, which means even the immigration should be part of these special task force, if we like to call it that way. So how do you react to the position of the AIG?
Well, in the area of coordination, I want to agree with him Because I've also heard the outgone CDS General Christopher Musa talk about coordination. And I think there's, for now, with the intelligence I have, there's a central coordination. They are coordinating from the DSS. And that's why you're seeing that DSS has taken this natural course
of disseminating intelligence
as promptly as it can. The issue is, I still want to insist a little, we should not discuss what is happening like a criminal issue. We are discussing like theft issue. We are facing the level of insecurity that is now like a militancy that is sophisticated. The guns they use, they have drone, they have also intelligence the way we have. If you look at the instances that happen, the KB own or the church adoption, you would know that they are not just coming. They are almost as strong as what you think the state actors are. So we should not discuss what is happening as though police is going to somebody's house to go and arrest somebody. So you see them on bike, you shoot them. That is not true. Before they come to that light, you're seeing them on that bike. The information, the backup they have, you cannot compare. They make those videos for us to see. They make them for us to see. We've not apprehended that force. I agree with AIG on the aspect of understaff. I'm insisting that we are still also understaffed because the people responsible, that are supposedly responsible to go out like this and fight, I keep emphasizing on our DPOs. The police force, half of Nigerian police force are in the houses of our elites, politicians. Before you talk about recruiting other people to come and join, what confidence?
Yeah, so
what confidence do we even have?
I wanted to ask, is it also possible that the people have lost confidence in the police force?
Do we even have?
No.
Sir, as I speak with you, I made an analogy. We've not seen a mass troop of police to any of these incidences. But just last week or within this week, we saw a large troop going to protect a building, just one building called PDP House. We want to see that level of proactiveness when it comes to this level of kidnap. The state governors are my critical issues. It will shock you. We've written to 21 state governors that have boundary issues. Sorry, that are associated to boundaries. I mean external boundaries. 21 states in our country have boundary
with other countries.
Where these people can easily move out and move in. No response. No single response had come.
Let me cut in a little bit.
If we don't discuss these issues in a larger light, we'll be looking at, because it has happened in Kebbi.
AIG, please, let me ask him a few questions.
Yes.
I know you have a lot of questions.
I need to react.
But you will. But I want to ask him to clarify. Right here we need to educate ourselves.
Yes.
We need to let people know what's going on. You talked about technology.
Yes.
And then we mentioned drones and all of that. And he made mention of how technology works elsewhere. I know that you have your preference to, your opinion on the police are not doing enough. Everybody does. However, what the statement he made about the fact that, okay, yes, the reaction of our military to we seeing a lot of bikes everywhere all the time, it is not competent enough. Whether you like it or not, these guys, they are fighting a symmetric war. And if you leave the police alone to deal with it, don't forget that the cities have millions of people that need policing as well. The PDP secretariat you're talking about have more than 500,000. Listen, have more than 500,000 people living in that area. If there is a problem in that house, then we need police to take care of it.
Let me observe you.
So I don't think it's a misplaced
let me observe. It is quite misplaced.
priority.
Let me tell you the truth. Our policemen. If the IG of police today say, which he did, but I don't know how practicable it has been, he said the police should not be used for land grabbing, should not be used for political outing. If we bring all our policemen as understaffed as the police institute is, if we bring them all back and say, look, what is confronting us today now is issues of rural disturbances. The bandits or whatever the terrorists, whatever they want to call them, they are beginning to invade let me say, likely ungoverned spaces. This is the reality on ground. So posting of policemen from henceforth, these people, they are guarding in their numbers. They are in the cities, Asokoro, Maitama, in Port Harcourt, GRA. They don't need as much. They don't need as much. See, we are having a fireworks.
I'm coming.
You're not allowing me to make my point.
No, your point is made.
Sorry, sir. They say strategic measures for what they call it, something measures for some action. You cannot be protecting a minister, seven policemen, 8 policemen protecting a minister when they are supposed to be manning a DPO point where there is problem.
Now,
what do you mean by they don't need it?
Now, I think it is.
But however, I'm not limiting the job to observe you. I'm not limiting the job to the police.
Just a moment.
What I think is that
you see,
what I feel is that
I want you to
yes.
You see,
these.
The police,
let him respond.
I did state that the police has primacy on internal security, and the police has the capacity and the capability. The Nigeria Police Force is one of the best police forces on the continent of Africa.
I agree with you.
I just returned from Sierra Leone, where we went to train the Republic of Sierra Leone Police Force. And I know what the retired officers we took from here did. And they are still in high demand, even in neighboring countries. I didn't want to mention the country. But the point I'm making is, there are certain category of public officials that are entitled to police protection.
VIPs.
VVIPs. You are now saying that, look, how can a brigadier general just fall
like that?
Yes. That means you recognize that brigadier general should have been given special protection. In every society, you have that arrangement. That is not why there is insecurity. No. The issue of insecurity is much more than that. And you were talking about that it's not about crime, about a local crime, theft, and all that. I agree with you. We need to fortify our borders. We need to have security coordination committees in our borders. We need to have relationship with our neighboring countries so that we even know if it becomes important. If we think they are gathering there to launch attack, we can attack them there. That I agree with you. But the issue of security in Nigeria, if you limit it to law enforcement, I mean police alone, you miss the point. The idea is, do you recognize that the local government security committees are not meeting like they used to, that they should meet?
It's an issue.
So now when you have the national security architecture, you have the National Security Council, and you have the Joint Intelligence Board. Then you come to the state, you have the State Security Committee and the Local Government Security Committee. Thank you. Now you can even go down to have ward or chieftaincy or emirate security committee. The idea is that local knowledge is critical to the issue of security. And that local knowledge, by the time you have from the local government security committee, is meeting either fortnightly or monthly, but they know that they should meet. That means the DPO must be there. The military commander, if any, there should be there. And you begin to build that early warning. Because if you have communities, if you're having, as for example, new people are arriving, the mode of prayer is different from the way we pray here. From that local government security committee, such will be brought. Maybe another local government has that challenge. You are able to cascade to the state level. And it is dealt with before it takes root, as it would appear to be right now. So the issue of security, the levels, the national security, no doubt, national security architecture need to be strengthened. But the local government people, the local government are not getting their money. The governors, forget about all they say, the money is joint account and all that, they never get their money. And because they are used to taking all the money, even if you give them the money, they are not going to use it for security. We are not talking of buying weapons. We are talking of getting to the communities, getting the emir who knows his people, the district head, the village head, the Oba who knows his people, and knows, say, look, we're having some strange people. There is high usage of drug in this community. Those people, the vigilante in, is it Eruku? Where they are. They arrested about 3 people. Those are young children. Yeah, you won't say that those one came across the border. They live among us. So, but the thing we need to do is, the governors, like you are saying, I believe that if the governors do their work, if the local governments do their work, the federal government will have less to do. And we should use less of military.
And more
of police and
civil
other civil forces like this DSS. It is wrong, as if in those days when we used to have a lot of crises on the West Coast, you see people with military vehicles patrolling streets with camouflage. Abuja is a sophisticated city. It should be a metropolitan area. We're not supposed to have people with, yes, people can carry weapons, but let it be the police. And then again, we should advise the police even beyond checkpoints. That means those areas they consider critical, we can concentrate CCTV in those places. And then you have vehicles on patrol. Because we don't have that money, they just park in an observatory, not far from those areas, so that if those in the monitoring room see that this area that we consider a hot spot, they can easily tell one or two teams, and they close in on that vehicle go in there, search, so that that woman taking her children to school
can be safe,
is not disturbed, so that her love for police will not be disturbed because the police stop her and they're asking for particulars and all that. So I think we need to kind of rejig the national security architecture, particularly from the local government.
Yeah, sir. You hit a major point. You hit a major, and I like the fact that Duke is approving your. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, of course, we'll be on the will I call it last leg or final leg of this conversation. It's still black or white. Do stay with us. All right, thanks for the interaction so far, but we have very limited time. And Ejisa, you were trying to clear the air on a number of issues.
Yeah, you talked about deploying to VVIPs, and you talked at Wadata Plaza, had tons of police there. Let me ask you one question. Those governors, those former governors, if something had happened to any of them, what do you think would have been the situation in the country? Not headline. You can have spontaneous eruption of violence all across. You see, the idea is Dangote is not a general, it's not speaker, it's not Senate president, it's not president, but you must deploy to him. It's an employer of labor. Because anything happens, God forbid, the effect. So those deployments that are made to individuals, they help. That is why they say when the president of Nigeria is traveling, there is a budget for him. When you look at him as the man there, you miss the point. Look at the map. Just look at the map of Nigeria, like it is Nigeria in that is moving. Something happens. So never underestimate the critical role of deploying adequate security of VVIPs. I am not saying it should be abused, especially when you have unauthorized persons serving them.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that is what we are talking about. But now, what the point I want to make, because, and I started it from the beginning, during the last episode, I say because the police does not have the numbers now, you are not going to be doing that all day. So you must have a tactical stopgap. That means you must find a way you can multiply their number. And the Police Act 2020, Part 5, subsection 113 to 121, talks about the employment of supernumerary constables. And I think the situation we have in schools, apart from hardening the target of schools, it is important the schools engage private security. That's the first layer, to prevent people from going there, fence the place, have CCTV and the rest. They should also have, like, what do you call them? The
CCTV cameras?
No. You can have, in some schools, where you have concentration, you can deploy some officers. The idea of deploying and having, then the supernumerary, they are not supposed to be deployed with weapons, but they work under the police.
What about the civil defense?
Of course, the civil defense. And that is why I talk about collaboration. coordination, partnership. This is what is going to increase the number. That is when we say police is 370, civil defense 100,000, military 120. You know, if you put the number together, it becomes big. And what do they avoid? They must avoid seeking vainglory. That means the achievement we have is that Nigeria is safe. Everybody is worried.
Absolutely agree
And
with you.
it's unified.
Yes.
Well, gentlemen.
They're not trying to outplay each other.
We've had quite an intensive engagement here and conversation. And time is really limited. But Dr. Duke, what would be your parting words?
1 minute.
1 minute, yeah.
Collaboration, we should be able to, we didn't even talk about political will. This problem we're having
must have the political will.
To drive
decisively deal with it.
That's just all we need. Thank you very much, sir.
AIG, sir.
And the public has critical role to play.
Absolutely.
The security forces cannot be everywhere every time. Those bad guys who think they're only India hemp smokers could be
informants.
The foot soldiers for these people.
Absolutely.
Kule, your parting words?
As a matter of fact, I think I have so much to say, but I think Nigeria needs hands. All hands should be on deck. I think the federal government should consider bringing back some of these retired people that are there. Let them even stay in the office and advise, so that things can move, so that the younger guys in the office can come out and work. Let them not sit at, we need all of them, all hands to be on deck right now. That's what I think.
Well, you've heard it. I mean, the solutions are almost numerous. They are at our fingertips. In the words of Dr. Duke, whether we have the political will, the wherewithal to take the decisive steps that are needed. I mean, nobody's asking us to reinvent the wheel here. Look at Israel. They are surrounded by enemies. And what did they do? They just decided to have a defense force made up of the military, the police, and everything. So, could that be the way to go? Let's hear from you. Let's be part of this conversation. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to follow the conversation, especially as we build up to the next episode. From us, it's bye for now. See you on the next one.